Costume Show, live from the Hyatt Regency in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Our contestants are ready to show off their creative designs by showcasing what makes their state unique. It's live and it's now. This is the Miss Petite USA State Costume Show. Please welcome your host, Mark Bosco.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Petite USA. Before we begin the competition, I would like to bring our 2022 Petite USA royalty to the stage. Team Petite USA and newly crowned Teen Universal Petite, Shaylina with Jaredna. Miss Petite USA and newly crowned Miss Universal Petite, Alexis Newland. Ms. Petite USA, Deborah Missy Scott. Mrs. Petite USA, Allison Wilkinson. Elite Ms. Petite USA, Christy Stevens. Thank you so much for making Petite USA look exceptional throughout your reign. We are very proud of all your hard work and dedication to our organization. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 Petite USA royalty. Gentlemen, are you all ready for the costume contest? Kicking off our Teen Arkansas Petite. Leah represents the beautiful diamonds found in the great state of Arkansas. Leah shines bright like the diamonds found in Arkansas's Crater of Diamonds State Park. Teen Florida Petite. Wild, beautiful, and free just like the sun. This beach girl spends most of her time soaking up the Florida sun with her feet in the sand. Teen Illinois Petite. She is the girl on fire as she represents the Chicago fire that occurred in 1871. She is like a phoenix rising out of the flames. Teen Iowa Petite. Adopted early in the state's history, Iowa's nickname is the Hawkeye State. As a tribute to Chief Black Hawk, leader of the Native American Sioux tribe, it is an honor for a state to represent such a wonderful bird, as hawks stand for power, courage, and strength. Kentucky Petite. With Wings of Fire, Jennifer Lawrence, born August 15, 1990 in Indian Hills, Kentucky, made waves in the film industry, and with her star female lead at just 21. Her films, the Hunger Games franchise, brought in $2.97 billion, making it the highest grossing film franchise of the 21st century. Jennifer Lawrence proved to be an inspiration and strong female lead. Her inspiring ways and strong will continue to push Hollywood and the film industry in the right direction for women equality. As she raised her wings of fire, she made waves that will forever be appreciated and will continue to remain one of Kentucky's proudest moments. Team Louisiana Petite. The magnolia in its stately form and glossy leaves in deep tones of green symbolize beauty, purity, and longevity, always making a statement, and why Louisiana Team Petite chose the state flower of Louisiana for Petite USA. Ava Claire, Louisiana Team Petite's natural beauty and strong love of community and social events. Team Massachusetts Petite. Representing Massachusetts, home to some of the best sports team in the U.S., is Hannah Betancourt. Team Massachusetts Petite as an all-star cheerleader. Team Michigan Petite. Team Michigan Petite state costume. It's a long blue dress representing the Great Lakes state, with snowflakes underneath, which stand for the water, winter, and wonderland, with a Mackinac Bridge headpiece which connects the upper and lower peninsulas. Team Mid-Atlantic Petite. Team Mid-Atlantic Petite, Grayson Bourdette's costume is her home state's bird, the cardinal. This beautiful costume was fully handmade and beaded by Grayson. Team Minnesota Petite. The hit funk rock artist Prince that trademarked the Minneapolis sound that inspired millions of people to be themselves is an inspiration behind her costume. She chose Prince's most known song across his home state of Minnesota, Purple Rain. Purple Rain signifies the beauty of sharing life with those you care about. This really hits home as Minnesota Nice is one of our mottos. Team Montana Petite. Montana's state bird is the western meadowlark. The distinctive yellow coloring of meadowlarks symbolize hope, positivity, and enlightenment. you know that 6 billion trees are planted by Americans each year? Representing Nebraska City, the home of Arbor Day and the mighty Eastern Cottonwood tree, this queen is going green. She's your Teen Nebraska Petite, Carmen Gonzalez. Team New England Petite. Introducing Team New England Petite, Dara Winchester. Dara is representing New England as a patriot. She's not a football player, but one of the first responders who fought for our independence from the British. 3 of the 6 New England states observe Patriots Day every April to honor all those who fought in those early battles. With unwavering dedication, these rebels fueled the beginning of a unified nation. Team New Hampshire Petite. Known as the queen of shrubs, lilacs are some of the hardest and most fragrant flowering bushes used in New Hampshire gardens and are symbolic of that hardy character of the men and women of the Granite State. Though these flowers are beautiful and petite, they demonstrate inspiration, encourage creativity, and represent grace and purity, all while promoting a sense of calmness and well-being. Representing New Hampshire state flower, she is Juliana Bowick. Team New Jersey Petite. This costume represents New Jersey as the Garden State. New Jersey is known as the Garden State because of its fertile land, which causes agriculture to remain the state's driving economic force. This floral dress is inspired by New Jersey state's flower, the blue violet, accompanied by charming tulips, elegant white orchids, and graceful roses. Teen Ohio Petite. Nikki Pacharka is representing Ohio, specifically the Wright brothers. Wilbur and Orville Wright are brothers who became the first people to invent an aircraft, and first to fly an aircraft called the Wright Flyer in 1903. Nikki, representing herself as the sky and clouds with airplanes flying around, hopes to convey the interesting history of Ohio with a fashionable twist. Team South Carolina Petite. South Carolina is home to some of the world's finest amethyst gemstones, making it the state's official gem. The curator of mineralogy from the Smithsonian Institute graded one of the largest early specimens of amethyst from South Carolina as the finest seen in the country. The amethyst is the most prized type of quartz for its wide use and various shades and hues of the deep orchard color. It also happens to be Faith Claire's birthstone. Tennessee Petite. Team Tennessee Petite, showcasing her beautifully put together emerald green and gold and violet costume. Green to represent Mother Nature and balance. Violet to represent the wonderful Tennessee state flower, the iris. And gold to represent success, prosperity, compassion, and divinity. Tennessee is known as the volunteer state. During the War of 1812, due to the key role played by volunteers for the Tennessee militia, Ariane is dressed as a great warrior Athena statue housed at the Parthenon in her hometown, Nashville, inspired by her love for nature, balance, and hardship. The color was chosen to represent new beginnings, growth, and femininity. With Tennessee being home to the Great Smoky Mountains, the beautiful iris flower, and the great Athena statue, Ariane customized the costume herself to hold the meaning of what it is to live in and experience Tennessee. Fitting her excessive personality and future goals as an environmental scientist, this costume is the embodiment of union, creativity, and divine vivacity. Team Texas Petite. Texas is the state of blue bonnets and the Lone Star flag. The hand-painted cowboy hat of blue bonnets represents the bravery and sacrifice needed to make Texas what it is today. And that concludes our costume competition for the team contestants. They are ready to showcase their state and region designs. Please help me in welcoming our Miss contestants to the stage. Beginning with our first Miss contestant, Miss Delaware Petite. Delaware is special in the fact that it chose the blue hen as its state bird, not because Delaware has an abundance of these birds, but to represent something much more powerful. During the Revolutionary War, the war soldiers from Delaware carried the gamecock blue hen. Blue hens are known for their ferocious fighting abilities. She is proud to stand with her state that values the strength it takes to fight the hard fights with a smile. Miss East Coast Petite. Vandella has Virginia's state bird, the cardinal, as her outfit inspiration. In many cultures, cardinals are a sign of good fortune and represent the determination to thrive despite obstacles. Miss Great Lakes Petite. This handmade dress represents an ice volcano, the phenomenon in which water erupts through the Great Lakes icy surface during the winter. The lakes are one of the world's largest freshwater ecosystems, and keeping them clean is important for the lake's organisms, waterways, and even humans. This dress is to remind people of the beauty of the lakes and why it's important to keep them clean. Miss Indiana Petite. On May 30th, 1911, in Indianapolis, Indiana, an event would take place that would change racing forever. This event would be the Indy 500, which this year will proudly celebrate 112 years. Racers from all around the world gather every year to see where America learned to race. Erica gained a fascination with the race in 2008 when she visited the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum and got to step foot on the actual track. Her outfit is inspired by the iconic checkered flag and race suits worn by drivers. Miss Kansas Petite. Miss Kansas Petite's costume is a sunflower queen costume. Kansas is known as the sunflower state, where beautiful golden sunflowers cover the fields and reach toward the summer sun. Miss Maryland Petite. Valerie Gregoto is wearing a Baltimore Ravens inspirational fan costume. The Baltimore Ravens is a professional football team based in Baltimore, Maryland. Football fans across Maryland watch the team play every Sunday during football season. Fun fact about the Ravens is they won their respective Super Bowl titles in 2001 and 2013. Miss Massachusetts Petite. Massachusetts has the highest ranked public schools and the most educated state in the US. Coming from a family of refugee immigrants who could not pursue a higher education, Ashley is grateful to begin her doctorate in optometry this fall. This costume is a tribute to her state and her family. Attached are some of Ashley's favorite works of literature on the pieces, as well as a reminder to always understand that educating oneself is the key to unlocking the world. Miss Michigan Petite. Michigan is renowned for its delicious cherries. With over 30,000 acres of orchards, they produce over 75% of tart cherries in the US. Michigan cherries are a beloved fruit that symbolizes the vibrant agricultural heritage of the Great Lakes state. Miss Mid-Atlantic Petite. She is dressed as a ringmaster. The first ever circus was in the Mid-Atlantic region. Miss Midwest Petite. The Midwest has been well known for how the seasons, fall, winter, spring, and summer, come in full swing. From negative 50 degrees to 102, the Midwest has it all, thanks to Mother Nature. Miss Montana Petite. The Montana state motto, Oreo e Plata, which translates to gold and silver, pays homage to the state's mining history that gave Montana its nickname, the Treasure State. The code 3777 was originally used by the Montana Vigilantes, a 19th century vigilante committee in Virginia City, Montana. Today, that code is worn by the Montana State Troopers to symbolize the first organized law enforcement in the Treasure State. Miss Nebraska Petite. Ivy is wearing a red dress to represent Nebraska's signature color for the beloved Cornhusker team. She is wearing a train made of locally harvested corn husks, paying homage to the nickname, the Cornhusker State. Miss Nevada Petite. Please welcome Miss Nevada Petite, Mia Sim. The vibrant nightlife glow in Las Vegas is a real head turner, and she is here to recreate that for you tonight. The street lights and the people have kept her believing. Miss New England Petite. The monarch butterfly migrates from Mexico to New England every summer. This endangered species is vital in pollinating our country's plant and food systems and is the official butterfly of Shayna's home state of Vermont. The second Vermont Butterfly Atlas seeks volunteers to explore their backyards and communities to snap pictures of the butterflies they see. Get outside and count so those butterflies don't die out. Miss New Hampshire Petite. Representing the New Hampshire state fruit, the pumpkin, is Miss New Hampshire Petite, Mackenzie Jolly. Wearing a costume her and her grandmother designed and entirely made together, she is honored to have grown up in the home of the Pumpkin Fest, which now takes place annually right in her backyard of the White Mountain National Forest. With thousands of acres of pumpkin patches around the state, pumpkins have been something that has brought families around New Hampshire together for years. Miss North Carolina Petite. North Carolina has a long love for the songbird that keeps its vibrant color all year long. Also referred to as the winter redbird, the northern cardinal was recognized as North Carolina's state bird in 1943 due to the beneficial services it provides for the environment. Miss Northeast Petite. Vanessa's costume was inspired by the legendary jewelry brand Tiffany & Co. Tiffany's & Co. was founded in New York City, and 186 years later, Tiffany's remains an iconic representation of the state, with both their headquarters and landmark store standing strong on Fifth Avenue. As a native New Yorker, Vanessa is proud to represent the jewelry brand that has become a worldwide phenomenon. Miss Oregon Petite. Oregon has always been known for its beautiful landscape of forestry since it's a rainforest. What many people don't know about Oregon is that it is home to the largest expanse of coastal sand dunes in North America and one of the largest expanses of temperate coastal sand dunes in the world. These sand dunes are a home away from home for many dirt bike and ATV riders who love to express themselves through motocross riding, much like our Miss Oregon Petite. Miss Pacific Coast Petite. In her home, Hawaii, volcanoes are regarded as life-taking and giving. Pele, the Hawaiian goddess of volcanoes and fire's name, means she who shapes the land. She takes motivation from her to shape her own land. Miss Pennsylvania Petite. Sending kisses from the sweetest state, Hershey, Pennsylvania, is home to the most beloved chocolate world dating back to the early 1900s. From Reese's peanut butter cups to the classic Hershey bar, Pennsylvania is proud to house this delicious destination. Miss South Dakota Petite. Since 1966, rose quartz has been the state mineral of South Dakota. The stone is mined in the southern Black Hills and comes in many shades of pink that are primarily used for jewelry and ornaments. Rose quartz is said to have healing and protection powers. Additionally, it promotes love and peace among others. Miss Southern States Petite. Howdy, hotties. This blinged out, all-white cowgirl took the look which inspired her fearless rodeo queens that have come before her, our Miss Southern States Petite. Just take a look at those custom boots. She wears her cowgirl hat with pride, courage, and resilience. Tennessee. Miss Tennessee Petite. My apologies. Davion is dressed as Athena to represent the Parthenon in Nashville, Tennessee, which is the only full-scale replica of the original Parthenon in Athens. This iconic structure doubles as a museum, and it was seen in the movie Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief. Miss Texas Petite. She's the yellow rose in Texas. Catherine wears a gorgeous white beaded two-piece paired with a satin overskirt that represents the state's symbolic flower, the yellow rose. Her southern costume is topped off with her bedazzled version of the classic Texan accessory, the cowgirl hat. Miss Virginia Petite. Miss Virginia Petite is proudly representing her state through her hand-sewn garment that she has named Virginia is for Lovers. Kendra wanted to create this garment to be a physical representation of the iconic aspects of Virginia that represents known and loving. As an homage to her platform's focus on sustainable fashion, the costume is made out of donated fabrics and state flags. The theme of love for her state is continued on the back of the garment with flourishes of the state flower, the dogwood, and hand-stitched hearts. Miss Washington Petite. Grayson Mahoney, Miss Washington Petite, is wearing a cowgirl-inspired costume as an ode to her beloved state and its booming agricultural industry. Washington makes more money off agriculture than it does technology and even Starbucks. Washington state farmers grow over 300 different agricultural commodities, with hay and forage being the largest and #1 agricultural export commodity as a measure in TPUs. Grayson also wished to pay homage to the deep cowboy roots of the eastern side of the state. Cities such as Republic, a once wild gold rush town, now hosts a dude ranch where guests can pretend to be cowboys. Miss Wisconsin Petite. MS. Ms. Alaska Petite. From the last frontier, Johanna is wearing an Alaskan costume featuring a matching pair of sexy style Eskimo romper shorts and boots. She is also wearing a fox fur winter coat with handmade native Alaskan jewelry and carrying a slingshot used for hunting small game in the wilderness. Ms. Florida Petite. Ms. Florida Petite, Tiffany King, saw inspiration for her costume for her love of offshore fishing and the state saltwater fish of Florida, the sailfish. With more than 11,000 miles of coastline and 800 species of saltwater fish, Florida is known as the fishing capital of the world. And Tiffany is no stranger to the sport, often traveling over 100 miles offshore, seeking the exhilaration of a collegiate catch and release. The majestic blue and silver billfish is named for its enormous sail-like dorsal fin and is known for its spectacular aerial displays with huge jumps and long tail walks. Ms. Gulf Coast Petite. Allah avec moi à la décor de Mardi Gras. The Fat Tuesday Run is a Cajun tradition passed on since the 19th century. It is held countryside, filled with costumes and dancing in preparation for the Lenten season. Ms. Kansas Petite. The heaviest storms grow the most beautiful flowers. Ms. Missouri Petite. Welcome to the Chiefs Kingdom. Missouri is proud to be the home of the 2023 Super Bowl winners, the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's hear it for the Red Kingdom. Ms. New England Petite. Inspired by her days spent raising hens in Jamaica, this costume is a tribute to the Rhode Island Red. This docile hen rose to stardom in the mid-1900s during an annual egg-laying contest, and they can produce upwards of 300 eggs yearly. A single 5-point comb headdress, vibrant in red, sits tightly against the top of her head, which symbolizes the color of eggs. As long as you provide shelter and food, she'll do the rest and leave an egg. Ms. New Hampshire Petite. Stephanie is flowing down the runway in a feathery, vibrant fuchsia gown with accents of chocolate brown. Very petite in size, the purple finch does not need grand wings, as they do not fly, they glide. The purple finch denotes Stephanie's achievements, spiritual freedom, and upbeat personality. Representing New Hampshire state bird, Ms. New Hampshire Petite, Stephanie Malnat. Ms. Pennsylvania Petite. Born September 13, 1857, in Derry Township, Pennsylvania, Milton Snavely Hershey was an American chocolatier, businessman, and philanthropist. Pioneering with his caramel made from fresh milk, he went on to create the Hershey chocolate bar. By 1909, Milton and his wife, Catherine, founded the Hershey Industrial School, currently the Milton Hershey School. Ms. Rhode Island Petite. Ahoy! Rhode Island is the beautiful ocean state, is known for its fresh ocean waters, fine jewelry, traditional foods, and a never-missed Boston meets Brooklyn accent. Newport, Rhode Island is considered the sailing capital of the world and has been host to the America's Cup for more than 50 years. Come visit the smallest state in the US and be amazed to see all that little Rhodey has to offer. Ms. Virginia Petite. The northern cardinal, the official state bird of Virginia. A bird that is recognized by its vibrant red feathers and the distinctive crest on its head. Their song is a series of whistles. A small, vibrant bird that symbolizes love, faith, and commitment. Ms. West Coast Petite. Representing the West Coast and the magical experience of Disney through the mermaid Ariel. Missy chose Ariel to represent her own struggles walking after an accident that caused her to become paralyzed from the waist down and bound to a wheelchair. But much like Ariel, to become paralyzed from the waist down in a wheelchair. Nevertheless, her dreams came true of walking through determination and faith. How incredible have the state and region costumes been so far? Before we continue the competition, I would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. We are grateful for your dedication and support to our organization. Because of you, we are able to continue to grow, and provide an incredible experience for our delegates. Fit to Sparkle, Puresque, Marc Defang, Just Right Cosmetics, Anna Bar, Mantra Band, LEL Illustrations, Be True Beauty Co., Pop Models, Go Bling Yourself, Magic Dreams Productions, Portillo Jewelers, WRK Marketing, J. Cherie Couture, Scott's Training Systems, Gold Sheep, Win a Pageant, Wendy Russo, MB Designs, Bling Boing Brag Jackets, Sinful Glows Spray Tan, Celsius, The Sash Company, Sweet Tea Salon, Yadaria Amador, and Crown Petite. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for our 2023 sponsors and volunteers. Please put your hands together now for the Mrs. Division. We will start with our first Mrs. contestant. Mrs. California Petite. Mrs. California Petite 2023 is representing the free oceanic spirit of California's Pacific Tide and star-studded coast in a bias-cut silk gown and constellation crown resembling the costumes of old Hollywood. Mrs. Colorado Petite. First produced by the Jolly Rancher Company, which was founded in Golden, Colorado by Bill and Dorothy Harmson, the name of the Jolly Rancher candy was meant to suggest a friendly Western company. Mrs. Florida Petite. In 1912, the Equal Franchise League opened in Jacksonville, Florida, and was the first women's suffrage group. Their efforts led to Zena Dreyer of Fellsmere, Florida, being the first woman to vote in the South on June 19, 1915. Cassie is dressed as the woman who marched and educated voters so that their descendants could have a chance to use their voice. This is why Cassie chose to advocate for voter education as her platform. She chose to honor the women of her state with this retro 1900s look as she carries the original women's suffrage flag. Use your voice. Mrs. Great Lakes Petite. Home of our nation's best trail riding and the very first recreational snowmobile, the Great Lakes region is a winter wonderland of fun. Just remember to keep everyone safe by staying on your side of the trail. Mrs. Indiana Petite. Jennifer Garrison, Mrs. Indiana Petite 2023, has selected to represent her state as the courageous cardinal. Adopted in 1933 as the state bird, the cardinal is not only known for its bold red color, but also signifies strength, courage, loyalty, and thrives despite obstacles. The cardinal is also noted to appear when angels and loved ones are near. She is dedicating her costume to all she has overcome this year, with hope to inspire all to keep strong in their journeys. Mrs. Kansas Petite. Jennifer Jones, Mrs. Kansas Petite, is showing a costume in collaboration with a Kansas City fashion designer from Ukraine for the campaign Stand Up with Ukraine Through Fashion. The sunflower gown was painted by a local artist from Ukraine, and the sunflower is Ukraine's national flower and the state of Kansas's official floral emblem. Mrs. Marilyn Petite. There is a magical gem not many realize belongs to the state of Maryland, the Goddard Space Flight Center. Goddard was NASA's first space flight center and has launched more than 290 missions over the last 50 years. Amelia is passionate about science and the wonders of space and believes that women can do anything and be anything they want to be in this world and in this universe. Mrs. Massachusetts Petite. Mrs. Massachusetts' white ruffled dress and flower crown resemble the Mayflower's delicately flagrant white petals, which can also be pink. The flower has been endangered for almost 100 years. Anyone who dares to remove the state flower from public land will owe a $50 fine. If this flower at night you dare to unearth, expect a penalty that's double the worth. Mrs. Michigan Petite. When you think of home, think of Michigan. Known as the Great Lakes State, there are 5 lakes that spell homes: Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior. But don't pull the drain plug on them because you'll cover the entire US in 10 feet of water. This blue outfit reminds this Michigan girl of home. Mrs. Mid-Atlantic Petite. Mrs. Mid-Atlantic Petite, Kathleen Dorns, is representing her home state of Pennsylvania by honoring the sweetest place on earth, Hershey. Kathleen is wearing a gown designed by a Milton Hershey house parent and was made from recycled Hershey bar wrappers. Milton Hershey was a pioneer in recycling and saw waste as an opportunity to innovate, create, and reuse. Mrs. Minnesota Petite. Though common in name, this state bird is anything but. The common loon is renowned for its laughing call, diving abilities, and bright red eyes that allow it to see underwater. Birds are an essential part of our ecosystem, aiding waterways as well as being pollinators. Mrs. Nevada Petite. The beautiful Shiree Winters, Mrs. Nevada Petite, representing Nevada in a classic showgirl costume in the sparkling silver color for the Silver State. Nevada is known for their silver mines and Las Vegas showgirls. Mrs. Nevada Petite is showing her patriotism with her red, white, and blue headdress and feather boa skirt. Mrs. New England Petite. Prepare to be captivated by the state costume of Mrs. New England as she sets sail from Boston to Block Island, Rhode Island. This enchanting dark blue gown features a cutout map of Block Island, adorned with intricate details of fish, seashells, and seaweed along the hemline, along with lobster-themed earrings. She holds a lighthouse in her hand, symbolizing New England's maritime heritage and the oasis of coastal beauty found on Block Island. Mrs. New Hampshire Petite. Amanda is depicting the beautiful state of New Hampshire, which is known for their beautiful fall colors. She is rocking a short brown dress covered in many leaves of different colors that make up the New Hampshire skies in the fall time. The leaves she is covered in also symbolize who she is and what she represents. The crimson colors symbolize her courage, the yellow representing her optimism, and the orange signifying her determination as a person. Representing the Granite State, she is Amanda Van Orden. Mrs. Northeast Petite. Mrs. Northeast state costume is the vibrant and spirited representation of her alma mater, Syracuse University's athletic program. The outfit features the iconic orange and blue color scheme. The overall look excludes energy, team spirit, and the proud traditions of Syracuse University. Go Orange! Mrs. Pennsylvania Petite. Proudly celebrating the state of Pennsylvania, the birthplace of the American flag, and the first U.S. state to commemorate Flag Day. Red, white, and blue forever. Mrs. South Carolina Petite. Heather Stevenson is representing the most well-known Marine Corps base in the United States, the legendary Parris Island. Located in the beautiful low country of South Carolina, Parris Island has been the primary recruit depot for enlisted Marines since 1915. Semper Fidelis, always faithful. Mrs. Tennessee Petite. Tennessee is known as the home of country music, with legends such as Dolly Parton and Loretta Lynn. Mrs. Tennessee Petite's state costume is a replica of Shania Twain's iconic leopard print outfit for her hit song, That Don't Impress Me Much. Shania was one of the biggest female country artists of her time and helped pave the way for future female artists in the industry. Mrs. Texas Petite. The Texas oil boom, sometimes called the Gusher Age, was a period of dramatic change and economic growth in the state of Texas during the early 20th century that began with the discovery of a large petroleum reserve near Mrs. Texas Petite's hometown, Beaumont, Texas. The strike at Spindletop near Beaumont in 1901 gained national attention, spurring exploration that ushered in an age of rapid development and industrialization for the state, our nation, and overseas. Mrs. Utah Petite. Holland is literally transported to Utah each spring when thousands of tulips are imported directly to Ashton Gardens for Utah's annual Tulip Festival. Over 750,000 spring flowers, including tulips, daffodils, hyacinths, poppies, and more, create the award-winning and unforgettable Tulip Festival throughout a 50-acre property, the same property with the largest man-made waterfall in America. Mrs. West Coast Petite. Tiffany McLeave, Mrs. West Coast Petite, is representing the infamous gold rush of the West in a gold hand-beaded fringe two-piece, handmade hazel crown highlighting the Spanish exploration and missions of the Pacific West and the heavy migration west inspired by the gold rush. She also is donning draped burnt orange red iris ring wings that symbolizes the Golden Gate Bridge, further demonstrating the pride of the colonization and creation of our melting pot of the West Coast region. Mrs. West Virginia Petite. The Mountaineer mascot is one of the most cherished of all WVU athletic traditions. Since 1934, the buckskin-clad, rifle-toting Mountaineer has been the beloved mascot of WVU. In addition to attending all major sporting events, the mascot is frequently seen around campus and the community. The Mountaineer mascot is the most beloved of all West Virginia University traditions and symbolizes the proud and rich heritage of the Mountain State and its people. It represents the strength, spirit, and pride of West Virginia. And that concludes our costume competition for the Mrs. contestants. Please put your hands together for the Elite Ms. division. We start with Elite Ms. California Petite. Representing Marilyn Monroe, she was born in Los Angeles and still today is known as one of the biggest icons of all time. Elite Ms. Connecticut Petite. Elite Ms. Connecticut Petite chose to represent her small but mighty state by her UConn costume. UConn won their 5th National College Basketball Championship this year. As an alumni of UConn, she is overwhelmingly proud to say she is a Husky. In addition, one of the stars from this year, 7'2" Donovan Chilligan, is the son of her friend Bill, who she went to high school with. And let's just say, this petite lady, who is 5'1", came up to his waist. Elite Ms. East Coast Petite. This design is inspired by the East Coast and features various shades of blue. It includes an asymmetrical neckline, and the body of the dress is made of a sequins velvet. The skirt is crafted from lightweight silk, a charmeuse fabric, creating a gradient of blue that represents the movement of the seawall. To add glamour and sophistication, a cape descends from one shoulder, transforming into a train in this spectacular design, representing sea waves. Designed by Alexandria Nunez, and earrings designed by Addison Gwen. Elite Ms. Florida Petite. People flock to Florida to enjoy the beaches, experience the different cultures, and of course to look for the mermaids. Come visit us and see if you can spot one of these sought-after sirens swimming in the beautiful Florida waters. Elite Ms. Great Lakes Petite. In 1928, the school children of Illinois chose the northern cardinal as the state bird of Illinois. The Illinois legislature made it official in 1929, making Illinois the first state to make the northern cardinal the official state bird. Elite Ms. Kansas Petite. In the classic film, The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy and her dog Toto are swept away from their home in Kansas by a tornado to the magical land of Oz. When opposed by the Wicked Witch, it is Glinda, the Good Witch, who intervenes and guides Dorothy through adversity to find her way home. Glinda's sparkly pink gown, golden crown, and magic wand represent benevolence, the magic of faith, kindness, and wisdom, which Glenda portrayed to remind Dorothy and us that what we seek, we already have, and that in the end, there is no place like home. Elite Ms. Louisiana Petite. Laissez les bon temps rouler in Louisiana, where you can always find something fun, like Creole foods, Cajun dancing, Mardi Gras celebrations, and swamp tours. Her journey is dedicated to her son Bryce, who she absolutely adores. He inspires her to be braver, presenting the queen of the bayou with her gator. Elite Ms. Massachusetts Petite. This year marked the 10th anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombing. To celebrate the strength and courage that Boston and the surrounding communities had in coming together to persevere, Elite Ms. Massachusetts Petite costume exudes the spirit behind Boston's strong 10 years on. Celebrating in this year's Boston Marathon's colors of blue and yellow, integrated with a running suit and a ribbon of the 10-year dedication of hope. Elite Ms. Massachusetts Petite shows that the finish line on her train of yellow is an inspiration to all to finish what you started, no matter what obstacles may seem insurmountable. Elite Ms. Mississippi Petite. He's at the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20. No one is going to catch him. There he goes. Touchdown, Walter Payton. Walter Payton set many records at Jackson State in Mississippi as a Tiger. He was named Player of the Year 2 consecutive years in a row in 1973 and 1974, as well as being selected to the All-American team in 1974. Education was also at the top of his game. Payton earned a bachelor's degree in communication. Payton will forever be known as Sweetness for his kind personality while being a ferocious competitor on the field. Walter was drafted in the 1975 in the first round of the NFL draft as the 4th overall pick by the Chicago Bears. Payton went from a Tiger to a Bear to a lifelong legend as an inspiration to all. From the Magnolia State, we are Mississippi proud. Elite Ms. Nebraska Petite. Representing the official Czech capital of the U.S., Wilbur, Nebraska. This Czech queen ensemble is made from recycled materials. Dancing the polka in her skirt made from chip bags to her crown made from detergent bottles. This is your elite Ms. Nebraska Petite, Melinda Gonzalez. Elite Ms. Oregon Petite. Where Elite Ms. Oregon lives is the Rose Garden. Started out by called the Portland International Rose Test Garden in Portland, Oregon, and has also been called the City of Roses since 1888. It's someplace she loves to go and see hundreds of beautiful roses. Elite Ms. Pennsylvania Petite. One of the most beautiful flags from our nation's founding era is the famous Betsy Ross flag, called by many the first national flag of the United States. It was created by Betsy Ross in the city of Philadelphia in 1776. It is arguably the most iconic emblem of our nation's beginning. Elite Miss South Carolina Petite. Stephanie takes great pride in representing her hometown of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This city is renowned as the golf capital of the world and boasts over 100 courses, as well as more than 50 miniature golf courses, all situated along a breathtaking 60-mile stretch of Carolina coastline. These courses, designed by golf legends and consistently ranked amongst the world's best, offer the perfect golfing experience. Stephanie cordially invites you to come and discover the enchantment of a Myrtle Beach golf vacation, complete with championship golf, oceanfront accommodations, award-winning cuisine, and much more. Elite Ms. Southeast Petite. Elite Ms. Southeast region is best represented by the singer and songwriter Jimmy Buffett. So many of his songs are about the ocean, the islands, and letting go. This dress reflects the spirit of the Southeast. Jimmy Buffett and the ocean. As Jimmy said, I invite you to head to the beach, swim in the ocean, and let your worries fade away. Elite Ms. Tennessee Petite. Santa's gown is a beautiful representation of the Tennessee state, starting with the blue shades for the Tennessee Titans football team. Iris, the state flower, is defined as courage and admiration. It is delicately placed on the right side of the gown. It is accompanied by the state butterfly, the zebra swallowtail, and the great pollinators of the world, bees. Keeping the planet healthy are the ectides eating ladybugs. Each summer night is lit up with the wonderful dancing lightning bugs, aka fireflies. Elite Ms. Texas Petite. The mockingbird is a state bird of Texas. It connects to her advocacy of eradicating poverty in women, especially women who are victims of domestic violence through education. This type of bird is a fighter, not only for his home, but also for his ability to bounce back when it falls. Just like a strong woman who falls many times, they let their courage try again and spread their wings and soar higher like the bird. Elite Ms. West Coast Petite. Elite Ms. West Coast is the Queen of Hearts as one of the elite members of the cardiac surgery team at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. She has assisted surgeons in more heart transplants than anyone on her team over the past 3 years. Their cardiac program was named the best in the world, number 3rd in the nation, and her team performs the most adult heart transplants in the world. Her colleagues have affectionately called her the Queen of Hearts for several years now. She is grateful for her colleagues, which have given her so much and such an honorable title. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the 2023 state costume competition. That was such an exciting and energetic show. Do you all agree?